Okay, I'm going to get started. Okay, so this class is going to go over some custom e-cards in the CRM. I know I talked a little bit about the testimonial e-cards that the marketing team created. They're awesome. I have had so many conversations with so many of you about asking for testimonials and how tricky that is for you, even just coming up with the wording. You know you need to ask for them. It's essential to your business. Statistics show, or if you know anyone that's a millennial, if you know anyone who's a millennial, we really don't care how long you've been in business. I want to know what people say about working with you. So if it's been, just a few months, I don't care. I just want to see what people say. We read reviews like nobody's business. So it's really essential because your current home buyers, a lot of them are millennials, and so that's really important. So asking for those really makes a difference, and it's important to have on your website and to have on your Facebook pages and all of that. So this is going to just help you. We created some verbiage. Marketing team did some great graphics, some verbiage so that you can just use an e-card to send out to your past clients and get that response from them to be able to add to your website or link out to your Zillow or your Facebook. So I'm going to show you where those are. So the first thing I'm going to do is log into MPD Office. And then I'm going to go to my CRM. You always have the option in your blue bar at the top. But if I scroll down a little bit on the dashboard, it's the second tile in on the second row. We'll give that a minute to load. And then to get to the campaigns, anytime you see the word campaigns, think e-cards, because campaigns equal e-cards in our CRM system. So I am going to go to the top blue bar of the CRM and click where it says campaigns. This is going to be a standalone card. So a standalone card is a one-time send. It's not triggered by a date or an event such as a birthday, a property anniversary, or a holiday. This is a card that you're going to set up and you're going to send out. You're either going to select a date and time for it to go out, or you will send it out immediately. So we're going to click on standalone by clicking the select button. And then when I click select for standalone, it takes me to the campaign dashboard. This is going to show me any drafts, scheduled or sent cards that I've done previously in the standalones. But to create a new one, I'm going to click add campaign. Okay, so I'm in the campaign options or e-cards. You'll see I have 3 different sections here. They can all be expanded to see different cards. So if I click on e-stationery, you'll see there are other options underneath it. Same thing with luxury and e-cards. Underneath e-cards, you're going to find a section called business development. That's where I'm going to go to find these testimonial cards. Business development under e-cards in standalone. Okay, second line here. Give me just a minute here. Okay. Second line, you'll see reply testimonial and reply Facebook Zillow testimonials. So these are the 2 cards I'm going to talk to you about the difference between them. The reply testimonial, I'm going to go ahead and select it by clicking on the check mark. And then I'm going to show you what this one looks like. So this one is not going to link out anywhere. This one is just simply going to ask your customers or your clients, past clients, to just respond to the email with a testimonial. Those of you who've done any customization on our website know that you can add testimonials to your website yourself. So this is really helpful. And I do have videos on that I'll send out after this class as well. So you can see the first thing we're going to do is select a photo. Some great options here. I'm just going to leave it on that first one. I like that MP Dodge with a computer and the stars. And then we get to the customization of the card. Here are the fields that need to be filled. So the first one says name your campaign. This section is always just for your knowledge. So this is if you go back to your sent cards, you can always know which one it was. So this is just visible for you within the system. It's not shown to your clients. Then below that, you have a subject line. This is your email subject line. So put something catchy in here. I just drew a blank. I was trying to think of something I had had something in mind and now I lost it, but this is your email subject line. And then below that, it says pre-header. For those of you who have taken my classes in the past or you've used these cards, pre-header actually means mobile preview. So make this one catchy, make this one relevant. Do not delete this line. Do not leave it empty. Put something in there, even if you repeat it within the card, because it's really relevant when you are looking at these cards on mobile or on a tablet. It's like that teaser line that you see. Usually when you look at your email and your phone, you see the subject line, and then right underneath that little blip from the email, that's what this pre-header is. So think of it more as a mobile preview. Below that, header 1, header 2, and you'll see it's okay that these two are the same, because when you look at it on your phone, you're going to see that pre-header, but when you open it up, it's only going to show it one time. And then we've created content for you. It already has the verbiage for thank you for choosing me as your real estate agent. And you can come in, and if I click in this box, I can make any edits to this that I want to or add to it to make it personal, but I don't have to. I'm going to scroll to the bottom and do a preview for you. Let me move my little bar out of the way here. Okay, I'm going to click preview on the bottom. There you can see in the top right corner, this is that mobile preview. So it's tiny when you are on desktop. It almost looks irrelevant, but again, it's really important when you are on mobile. Then you'll see this is header 1. There's the image I selected, and then here's the content of the card. Always these cards are going to be branded to you. They will link out to your website. They'll have your contact button on there that comes directly to you. So it's a really great, easy card to use. So I previewed it. How do I send it? I'm going to click close. Those of you who've used the CRM before, you've seen this, you've used it, but I'm just going to walk through all the steps just so that everybody can see. So everything is ready for me. I'm going to click next step at the bottom. And then it asks me to add contacts. So it takes me to a section where I have 2 contact books to choose from. Send to my contacts, that's my database I've uploaded to the CRM. It's going to take me to my book of business. If I choose send to company contacts, that's when you're sending to other agents or agents within MP Dodge or the MLS agents, properties, new listings, price changes, things like that. So I'm going to go to my contacts, to my book of business. And then it's going to allow me to select my contacts or who I'd like to receive this card. So you have the option to select by a tagged group. Let's say you are so organized in your database in your CRM that you have all your past clients tagged with the word past client or past seller, past buyer. Perhaps, I don't know if I have any in here, but I'm going to try past client. So it says 0, but let's say you did have people in there with that tag. Then you can just go through the process and click send, and it will send to everyone who has that tag. Maybe you want to send it to someone that has the tag seller. See if I have any of those. 0. All right, I'm not going to strike out this whole time. I think I have buyers. Okay, I have 6 contacts with the tag buyer. So before you go to create this card, it'd be really great to go through and make sure that your tags are all up to date. Your past clients, give them some sort of tag that identifies them as a past client. So when you get to this point, you can just select a tag the same way I'd selected buyer. Now you can choose by contact if you decide, there's 5 people I want to send this to, and I'm not necessarily going to create them as a group. I can switch this radio button from tag to contact, and I can enter those people individually, select them that way instead. So maybe you want to be very choosy about who you're sending it to when you're sending it to them. You can absolutely send it to individual contacts at a time. I'm going to go ahead and X out this buyer one. So I think I've got family on there, and they're going to say, why are you sending me this? But Nikki will know. So we're going to leave her on there. And then once we've selected my contacts, I'm going to click next step at the bottom. You're always going to see a launch report. So if anyone had a duplicated email address or someone unsubscribed or bounced, it will tell you how many it's actually going to go out to. And then once you see that number, you're just going to click approved, proceed to send in the bottom right corner. This is it. I can select a date and a time to send it, or I can come to the bottom and click send it now. So simple, right? Yeah, great. Okay. Any questions on that? But I'm going to go to the other testimonial card that takes a little more work, but this is the really simple cut and dry. They just respond to your email, and then you have their testimonial in your email. Any questions on using that one before I move on? No? I'm seeing shaking heads.
Nope.
Great. Okay. I'm going to go back to campaigns in the top blue bar. And I'm going to go back to standalone. So same steps here, the standalone cards. This is a one-time single send. Here's my dashboard. And again, to create a new card, I'm going to click add campaign. And then again, those e-cards live under the e-card section, business development. Second line of cards, you'll see right next to the one I just did is the one that says reply Facebook Zillow testimonial. So I'm going to select this one by clicking on the check mark. And then this one works almost the same way, except there's a little more work. So I'm going to select my photo that I wish to use. Maybe I like this one. And then again, same fields. So reply, Facebook Zillow testimonials. This is my email subject line. Below that, that pre-header or mobile preview, and then header 1 are the big red words within the card before the image. You can take that out completely if you want the image at the top, or you can fill it in. Header 2 would give you a blue line underneath the red wording if you want to put more information there. Just remember, your clients are typically looking at these emails or e-cards on their phone. You don't want them to scroll forever. So be really conscious of that when you are adding content or changing things. Okay, down here in the bottom, you can see, I'm going to move this just a tad on my screen. It has a highlighted section. So instead of just responding to this email, this gives your clients a couple other options. So when I get down to the verbiage here, it says, 1, respond to this email, easy as that, no account or registration required. Below that, it says, click here to leave a review on my Facebook page. Well, we need that here to be a button, right? So that click here needs to go to your individual Facebook business page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I am first going to go on my browser to my Facebook business page. Can you guys see that? Okay, once you're on your page, if you click on settings in the top right, you guys see settings? I'm going to select, then on the left-hand side when it loads, templates and tabs. This class is recorded, so you'll be able to watch this again. Templates and tabs is going to show me the different sections of my business page. So it's going to take me to, you've got about me, you have services, and reviews is one of them. So when you see the reviews tab that's on your business page, you're going to click settings. And right there in settings, you see this share reviews tab. Copy this URL to share this tab with people directly. So I can either click copy URL, or I can right click on this and click copy link. And then I'm going to go back to my e-card. So now we need this here to be a button to that page, right? So I'm going to highlight here. And then in my toolbar, up in the content, do you see this one that looks like a chain or a link? I'm going to click on that. And here it gives me a spot to paste that URL, which is going to turn the word that I highlighted into that button to take me to this address. So I'm going to click OK. And then you'll see if I click off of where I highlighted, it now has that blue underlined like we typically see is a button, right? Or a hyperlink is what we call it. So we just did that for Facebook. I'm going to do the same thing for Zillow. Okay. Now I'm not an agent. I don't have a Zillow account, but Jill gave me permission to use hers. So the first thing I'm going to do is in another browser tab, I'm going to go to my Zillow where the reviews are, right? So here is where someone would leave a review for Jill Anderson. I want to grab the URL or the web address for the review section on her Zillow page. So at the top, I'm going to highlight, right click, and copy the URL or website address. Then I'm going to go back to my CRM. And here I am, step 3, click here to create a Zillow account. So this here needs it to be a button to that website again. So I'm going to highlight here, and all I'm doing is pushing down on my cursor and dragging it over to highlight, just like when you copy paste. And then I'm going to go back up to that toolbar and find that link again. So now I want this here to be a button to a different website. So I'm going to click that link again. And where it says URL, URL is the same thing as web address. I'm going to paste the URL or web address into that field. When I click OK, you'll now see it's a button that will link directly to that page. I'm seeing a flashing orange. Do we have some questions in the chat?
Yeah, I have a couple questions for you. If someone has unsubscribed, like by mistake, is there a way to get the email back with the permission of that person?
It's a process for us. You can definitely submit it to us. We're in the process of an agent accidentally did the same thing. So I'm working through it right now. So I want to make sure we get that done, but it's a little bit of a process. We can definitely work on it.
Okay. I have a specific agent who's looking at her business page and doesn't see that area to find the link. That's Lisa Jansen Bartholomew. I think that's someone that we can probably address individually.
Yeah, the only other thing I'll quick show, I'm going to go back to my business page of Facebook. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I go here, other than going to the settings and going to the tabs, the templates and tabs to find that, if you have your reviews over here on the right, or excuse me, left-hand side, rights and lefts, not my strong suit. If you click reviews right here, you can also copy the URL from right there, right up in the web browser. See where the web address is? You can copy it from there as well. You don't have to go straight there, but it's just a helpful little tool.
Okay, thanks. And one more, and this is from Jody Rainick. Does this route for a Zillow review force a client to create a Zillow account?
Yes. So if they don't have a Facebook account or a Zillow account and they click on one of those buttons, it will require them to create an account. That's why they created both cards for you guys. Some people don't want to force their clients to create an account when they're asking for a review. So you could always just use the first card that I showed that asks them just to reply to the email with the review. Now that review you won't be able to have on your Facebook or your Zillow because the client, again, does have to do it there, but you'll be able to add that to your website. Great question.
All right, that's all I have for right now, Stacy.
No one else right now? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my eCard. And then one more step that is really important, we have to remove this highlighted section. So this is really great instruction from the marketing team so that you can do the hyperlinks on the bottom. So they kind of talk you through it. But then I need to remove this highlighted verbiage, and you can just delete. I'm just trying to delete a lot at a time. I'm just selecting and delete. Remove that verbiage before you send it to your client. They don't need to see the instructions on how to create those hyperlinks. And then you walk through the process the exact same way that we just did the other one. So I will go to the bottom and I can preview it if I want to. Again, top right corner, this is your pre-header, or what I like to call mobile preview. Below that in red is the header 1. Here's the image that I selected, the content, and then here you can see that those buttons are live links. You created buttons within your card that you can send to your clients. Again, always branded to me. Any more questions on that? I see orange again. What's the question? Let's hear it.
Okay, so this is about Google review. I have an agent who says that Google review is not accepting reviews right now. Has anyone heard that? And then I have another agent asking, is a Google review the same process?
I don't know of Google not taking the reviews right now. I guess in the immediate, the last couple ways, or couple weeks or so, I haven't gone to Google to do a review. Yes, same process, Dave. If you wanted to add Google here, you can, let me get out of the preview here. And if I come to the content of the page, can you guys see the content of that card again, where we created the hyperlinks? I would just click down and add point 4 and say, click here to create a Google account and leave a review. And then you'd go out to your Google page to the review section and grab that URL or web address, and you would create the hyperlink right here for that as well. Exact same process.
Can we customize photos? Like
not with this card. So I'm going to show you after this how to create a custom e-card. And you could do definitely, okay, Jody, I see what you're saying. It could be fun to be able to put their closing photo in the card. Absolutely. And you're doing one for each person. In that case, my suggestion is the next section, I'm going to walk you through custom e-cards, but maybe you don't want to reinvent the wheel with the content. Come to this card and copy the content in here, so you can use that same content with a custom image. Do you think asking for many different reviews is too much? Well, it's a couple things. I don't think that you're actually asking them to do all of those. I think you're asking them to do one, and this just gives your client options. That's my take. If someone sends this to me, I would personally probably just respond to the email, because I don't want to create an account unless I have an account already. But I appreciate the options. What I don't love is when someone sends me a click here to create a Zillow account and leave a review. This is personal preference. I don't want a Zillow account, so I'm not going to leave a review. When I get to that page that says create an account, I'm like, forget it. So if I didn't have other options, you might be limiting the response that you get. Anyone else have a thought on that? No? Okay. Okay. Any more questions on these 2 testimonial cards? That is it for those 2. So I'm going to show you how to create a custom e-card so that you can do something similar to what Jody is asking. Nothing? Okay.
Just real quick, when I have multiple, when I ask a client if I can have like multiple reviews or testimonials, I'll let them know also that they can just copy and paste it if there's more than one, just to make it more convenient for them. So just FYI.
Great point. And in that case, Jim, maybe you put that verbiage right into this card. So that'd be a great way to modify the card to be more specific to what you want to say, or some quick, easy options for your clients. Great idea.
Yeah, the easier the better.
Yep.
Usually, so.
Agreed. Anyone else?
I just have a comment I would add. When I have asked for reviews before, I've also asked permission to utilize the review on my newsletter, for example, or on my website. So I think it's a good idea just to let your client know that you're planning to do that. And I've never had anybody say no.
Right.
But not a bad idea.
Yeah, so this card, I believe the other one has a little bit different information in this section. I think it says like, I will only use your first name and maybe last initial or something like that. And you could definitely add in there, you know, I will use your name however you submit it to me, or, you know, something like that, something to that effect, so that their privacy is A, they've given permission, and B, it's showing as they would prefer. I typically suggest that you keep a similar naming convention. Some people won't care if you use their last name, but if others do and they just say use my first name, then I would suggest you use first names for everybody. It just kind of keeps a more uniform look. And to add to what Jody said, if someone responds with a testimonial, they're not going to care if you use it, but always good to get permission. Anything else? Okay. I'm going to really quick, before I show you where to create custom e-cards, I'm going to show you where they land. So if I go back to campaigns, they again are going to live under standalone cards. So I'm going to select standalone. And then add campaign, because we're creating a new one. Campaign equals e-card. And then here are the different sections. These also, again, live under the e-cards. Some of you, if you've created an e-card in the past, you'll have this section. If you've never created your own template, you don't have this, but you will see I have this My Template section. This is going to have all of the cards that I've created in the past. So anytime you create a custom e-card, this is where it will be so that you know where to go to find it once you've created it, okay? So how do we add cards to this section that are specific to me or how I want to use them? In the top blue bar, when you're still in the CRM, that's where we want to be. So we're in the CRM. I'm going to click on Settings in the top blue bar. Any of you who've done the basics class, then you hear me say at the very end of this page, we go over almost everything, and then at the end I say, those are advanced features, we're not going over them today. Well, we're going over one today. So to the very bottom of this page of settings, you're gonna see CRM eCard Template Editor. You guys see that? So right here, I can click eCard Template Editor. And this is where I can create custom e-cards. So here are the ones that I've created in the past, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through how to create one today. So you'll all have this green button that says Add New Template. And then some of these are going to look familiar, but the layout's a little different, so it's a little bit confusing. Template name. This is like, maybe I want to call it open house card, or maybe I want to call it Nikki's testimonial request. If I'm going to do a specific one like Jody was speaking to, I would name it that. So this is how you're going to find the card in the system. So name it appropriate to what you are sending. I'm going to throw out the scenario that I held an open house on Sunday and I captured 4 email addresses of people walking through my house, maybe not during COVID-19, but you know, in the past or in the future, we're doing an open house and I was able to capture some email addresses. So I want to create a card that has a picture of the house that I held the open house at. And so that is what I'm going to put on here. So maybe it was open house at 123 Main Street. So that's what I'm naming it so that I know how to find it in the system. And then it says template subject. This is the email subject line. Now we're creating the template. So all of these fields will be editable when you go to do the send. But right now we're just creating the card. Like you see already created for you in the system, marketing created those testimonial cards and they had pre-filled information. That's what we're selecting right now, the pre-filled information. So template subject, it was great to meet you on Sunday. I can change that when I actually go to send it. And then under selected layout, your best option is to select generic e-card. And when I do that, you'll see it now gave me those template fields. Do you see that? So this looks like when we go to customize a card, right? But right now we're picking the pre-filled information. So pre-header, looking forward to hearing from you soon. Header 1 are the big red ones, big red words. I'm just going to put header 1 here so that you know what that is. Header 2. Oop. And then here's my content. Now I could leave this completely blank and fill it in when I go to send the card, or I can add information to it now. I'm going to leave it blank so that I can edit it when I'm making the card. So now I'm just going to click the Add Template button. So now you'll see in my templates, I have open house at 1234 Main Street. So I created the content, but there's no photo attached to it now. You know, when you clicked on that testimonial card the marketing team made, there were multiple photo options. So they create the card first, that's what I did. And now next to that card, if I go over to the right, you'll see there's a photos section, right? See that? I'm gonna click photos. And it is going to take me to where I can add photos to be available to go with this card. So in this case, I'm doing it for open house at 1234 Main Street. I'm going to upload an image I took of 1234 Main Street. Okay. Now I can click here to upload, or I can drag and drop images in there. When I click on it, it's going to take me to search my computer for those photos. I think this is, I made sure I had sized ones appropriately. So you get to see my family on our porch in the fall. We're gonna pretend like that's 1234 Main Street. I'm gonna click open. It's gonna load. Now at that first screen, you'll see it tells you, gives you guidelines, here, back up, on the file type, how big they should be, and or how wide and how big they should be. So if you don't meet that criteria, instead of loading the way my photo did, you'll get an X over your photo. It'll sit in this box with an X over it, okay? But this one loaded, so I'm good to go. I am gonna go ahead and go to my campaigns and show you where I can find this card that I created and how I can send it out. Any questions on adding photos? I could add multiple photos here, by the way.
Stacey,
Yeah.
I don't know how to size a photo. Is that a whole other class?
It could be another class. We can also help you do it if you're not going to need it like every day. Nikki or I could help you. If it's a photo that you've taken like on your phone or something like that, it's typically going to be sized okay to use in this system. But if you have trouble with it, just send it my way, or we can go over it another time. There are some cool tools out there to help do it too, and your computer typically has one in it. So we can talk about that. Yep. Do another question? Is there an image resize tool within this program? Not for this section. So when you add photos to the content boxes, there is a resizer right there inside of it, but when you're adding photos for a custom e-card, they have to be already sized appropriately. We can send some tips out on how to resize your photos also. Okay, I'm gonna click on campaigns in the top blue bar, campaigns equal e-cards. That's gonna take me out of the settings where I created this card. And then I'm gonna go to standalone. And then add campaign, because I'm creating a new card to go out. Again, these live under e-cards. And then any of my custom cards will live under my templates. Here you can see, if I go to the right, open house at 1234 Main Street. This is the one I want to use, so I'm going to click that checkbox. And then here you can see the fields that I had filled out with that information, auto fills. But this subject line, don't be fooled by that. It's grayed out, so you actually have to retype the subject line even if you want to use what's in there already. So I have to say, it was great to meet you on Sunday, or whatever I want my subject line to be. Here's that custom content box. I can enter some information here if I want to, but I really want to show you the preview of what this looks like. So I'm going to click preview. So here's that pre-header or mobile preview, header 1, header 2. So if you want to put information there, here is the image I selected. I didn't put content in that content box, but that content box is where you would say it was so great to meet you. I look forward to working with you in the future if you're doing a open house card or something like that. But you could do whatever you wanted there. This is how you can add images and create your own cards. Ryan just gave a great tip in the chat for anybody who's not looking at the chat. IrfanView is a great free tool for resizing. Maybe Ryan will send out a tutorial on that in the future. I could do one for people that have Macs. Ryan will do PCs. Mean. Any questions on that? This is how you create a custom e-card. Use them all different ways. So another one, I'm going to go back to my template so I can show you. So maybe you do a client appreciation party every year and you send an email. Why not use the CRM so you can track opens, you can track clicks, you could do a custom card. You can put in a photo of your team or you with Santa, you know, if you're doing like a Santa meet and greet, cookies with Santa, something like that. Or if you do, I know some people do pies at Thanksgiving time. That's a great one. You could do a custom card with an image with you in it. So I just created one called Client Appreciation or Santa to show you some other options of ways that you could use it. So if you want to ask for testimonials and you want to make those very personal, you could absolutely do a picture of their home. Or maybe you just want to send it was great working with you, not even asking for a tutorial. Here you can see my little boy trying to turn on the TV at Christmas. But use these any way that you can think. Any other questions? No? Nothing.
I have a question about the newsletter, if that's appropriate to ask.
Sure.
Last month, I know there was a challenge with the newsletter, and when I look back to see how many people received it, it shows me one number, one place, then another number, another place.
Sure.
Is it the higher or the lower number? Do we know?
I know what I can tell you. Sorry, my share is being funky here. Let me just cancel the share. There was I call it a glitch. The layman's description of what happened last year. Those of you who use the newsletter, you probably noticed like you sent 90 and it said 14 went out. We have been told SendGrid is a third party that's used by our CRM systems and other CRM systems that sends the actual emails. There was a glitch in the data that was coming back to us, had what they call an unknown field. So all newsletters did send last month, but not all stats came back on it. It is corrected. The data feed is corrected and it should be just as you expect it to be this month. It should work just perfectly. So discrepancy between two numbers, that I've not heard that. So I don't know exactly the answer for that specifically, but stats were wrong last month and they will be right this month. But they did all send last month.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question. Then I will write a new article. So.
Julie asked if there a way to put your own content first in the newsletter and then the article from MP Dodge. Yes, so I do this in another class. I have a whole video that walks you through customizing the newsletter, and we'll send that to you after this class. Any other questions? No?
Yeah, I got a quick question.
Okay.
As far as your video content, do we have access to that as agents? Is there like a training, something I'm not seeing, or?
Will you put it in the chat, Nikki, please? It's npdtraining.npdodge.com. It's also in all of Ryan's emails. And a lot of your, like I don't know if 204 is putting it in their weekly emails, but I know 108 and 148 are. We can get all the managers to add it. But npdtraining.npdodge.com. All sorts of resources for CRM, website customization, your app, a few zip forms. I don't walk through everything in zip forms because zip forms has their own library of videos, but there are definitely some things that are unique to us, or some very small little pieces that you guys need to know. And then any pre-recorded class, like this class is recorded on CRM, it will be under CRM as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep, they're all available there.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Thanks for doing this.
Yes, you're welcome. Work on some custom e-cards. If you have questions, reach out to Nikki or I. We can always help you. We'll get some information about resizing images for you and get that sent out along with this class for those who missed it. All right, nothing else. Nikki, you got anything to add? Nope. Okay. All right. That's it. Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great day. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take care, gang.
Bye, everyone.